Learning Spanish through jokes? You just gotta be kidding me! Written by Julio Fopoli, read by Graham McGregor. I've been teaching foreign languages since 1990, and in my personal experience with learners from all corners of the world, I've seen firsthand that the best way to acquire a language is when you feel at ease and have fun. The more you enjoy what you're doing, the more proficient you become. Jokes provide a simple, yet amusing and powerful way to achieve this, and offer four main advantages. A. Real language. When someone tells a joke, the language used is real everyday language. No one will come to you using far-fetched language or old Spanish that even our grandparents would have trouble to understand. The language of jokes is simple, direct, and to the point. B. Vocabulary and context. It's amazing how a simple 2 or 3 line joke can place us in a very specific context, in which very specific vocabulary for that context appears. This is something that traditional language learning materials lack. They teach a lot of words and phrases in isolation, and then the students don't know how to use what they've learned. Not with jokes. Everything takes place in a very specific situation. C. Idiomatic expressions. Conversational language is filled with idiomatic expressions that are usually non-existent in standard courses, but that nevertheless are extremely common in everyday conversations. Jokes make use of all these idiomatic expressions and play around 2 or more different nuances of meanings of the same word. What better way to learn different meanings of a word than through the graphic imagery of a joke? Which brings us to the last point. D. Graphic. Jokes are very graphic and descriptive in nature, which is a terrific advantage over traditional materials. Why? Because the more graphic and ridiculous and even incoherent the situation, the bigger impact it causes to our brain. Thus, memory retention is enhanced. We're exposed to so much information every single day that our brains tend to filter out most of it. However, when something breaks the usual pattern in which information is presented to us, our brains tend to focus more and remember more easily and for longer. In this book, I added some comments to the right of each joke. The notes focus on those terms that may offer more problems to students, as well as tips and cultural notes. You can also use the jokes to analyze grammar in context, and in some cases there are pointers on tenses and structures that appear naturally in those contexts. However, it's not within the scope of this book to analyze grammar in depth, just to make you aware of what might be good to focus on. So without further ado, I'd like to invite you to keep listening and enjoy the jokes.